Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is finally seeing the truth. So you're finally seeing the truth about something, maybe seeing the truth about someone. I don't know, but we're definitely going to find out. Definitely going to find out. So just getting us some cards. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay. Almost ready, guys. Almost ready. Emily. It's not me, it's you. Love it. Okay. That's a lot of cards. Anyways, let us see where this conversation is headed. Okay. Ooh, someone's been lying. It's an earth sign. Ooh. And it's very, very simple. I'll show you guys. Honesty in reverse. Someone's been lying to you. Someone has absolutely been lying to you. It is someone that's an earth sign, high priestess of earth. This is someone who may present themselves as looking up to you, but in reality, they're looking down at you. They probably see you as a means to achieve something that they want. And this is very, very simple. Whatever this is, it's very, very simple. Don't give it to them. That's how I see. That's how I see it. Okay. Okay. Ooh. They're trying to present themselves as loyal. They're talking about the earth card because it's card number 3, the earth sign card. And then 33, loyalty. So it might be something where once upon a time they were loyal to you, or maybe they've always just pretended to be loyal to you. And now you're finally seeing the truth that they have no love for you. Absolutely no love for you. None. So what you're dealing with is quite possibly a person that is accustomed to feigning love. I've dealt with plenty of these type of people. More than my share, trust me, more than my share. They will present themselves as loving you, supporting you, caring about you so deeply. But again, in reality, what this is a means to an end for them. You are the way in which they will be able to do or get what they want. Something they're not capable of doing on their own, something they're not willing to do the work to earn. I don't know who this is talking about. I don't know if this is someone at work. It feels more personal, to be honest. I'm wondering, maybe is it a work friend, someone who you work with, and over the years they've become your friend? Yes, someone we both know is having a past client attack him and I. Sorry for the face. Mm. Mm. Is it is it someone from Facebook? Because Facebook is just not you, Kathy. Facebook itself. So this is a circumstance that maybe was once forbidden, but now, man, I think this is a repeat of something that's happened between the two of you, maybe in a previous life, maybe, I don't know, might be a previous life. This is bad. I don't like stuff like this. It's almost like the sense of they're rallying people. Whoever this is that you're now seeing the light, there's a possibility that they're going to try and rally people. They're going to try and get people involved that really have no business being involved, because I'm assuming this is a matter between the two of you. This is triggering me. This is like very much triggering me. This is someone who fell out of grace from Lemuria. This is not good. This is very not good. This is someone who's running out of options, and they're hoping you're out of options as well. They're very upside down in their perception. Very, very, very upside down in their perception. Look at their face. Look at their face. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. This is not good. This is not good. Yeah, see, again, turning their back. They're turning their back, and it's like they're willing to fight. They're willing to fight for something they want to remain hidden. This is about to get messy. For those that this applies to, this is about to get messy, and you need to make sure that you really allow yourself permission from yourself to take the appropriate steps. What's the appropriate steps? Well, I mean, it depends on the circumstance. It depends on the circumstance. So, oh, this upside down bull. Ball. Okay. So look. This has Lilith all over it. The ugly aspects of Lilith are all over this circumstance. This is telling me that whatever it is you're dealing with, they have a lot of thought inception. They might be someone that's someone that has a parasitic circumstance. They might be someone, excuse me, that I would say they've probably gotten away with a lot in the past. And I think they think that they're going to get away with this again. Y'all, this is ugly. So my thing is this, because I've been through these types of circumstance before, where either lack of ability to continue accessing me, or they feel entitled to me, to my energy, to my services, to whatever it is. They go ahead and basically make it their life mission to try and destroy me. Like, they don't want to stop until I'm fully destroyed and this and that. I look back and I realize I should have taken legal action back then. You know, because that's how you let someone know, like, I'm serious. If you want to fight, it's not going to be done with he said, she said, gossiping my team versus your team. It's going to be, do you have the money for a legal battle? Because I will abso-fucking-lutely spend to defend myself and everything that I've built. I'm now at that point with any type of conflict. And no, it's not a thing of, oh, I'm looking for people to sue. No, it's this thing of, if you are trying to destroy my business as the sitting president of multiple companies, I have an obligation to protect all my business assets. Me and my reputation are a major business asset. You have to understand the gravity of your existence before you can make the decision to do these types of things for yourself. You have to be able to see you're worth fighting for. Now, should you fight? I think something's trying to empty your cup. Something's trying to empty you. You know, I'm kind of just like, ooh, are you mindless? Are you not seeing what's happening? Are you kind of lost in the haze of what other people are saying? You got to be careful with these types of circumstances. You just really need to make sure that you allow yourself the time, the space, and the opportunity to really, really process, you know, like really, really allow yourself to process it. All right, let's do the other deck. The Magi. Okay. The assumption is this person is trying to gather, they're trying to gather people who they think has like higher standing than you, right? Someone who they think has natural abilities comparable to yours, and they're gonna, oh my gosh, that's why this is triggering me. This is the same thing. It's a very, very similar circumstance to what was attempted on me last summer. I don't know. You guys need to find a way to navigate this. This is not a natural byproduct of something that you did. It's not. This is a parasitic. This is a parasitic opportunity. Whoever this is that's doing whatever they're doing to you, they're trying to take advantage of an opportunity that's been presented. So you have to make sure that you bring to light everything that's being attempted, shadows in reverse. So this is telling me you need to bring things to light. You need to speak openly about it. One of my greatest mistakes in the past was not being very clear and concise regarding what was actually happening, not trying to convince other people, because really the people who are willing to hear it and believe it without asking you, without observing and making sure they're understanding, those people are a lost cause. They really are. Those, and open your ears to this, okay? Those are the people who didn't like you to begin with. They just didn't have the courage. And they wanted to be able to keep tabs on you to see if you were succeeding and this and that. I don't know why people function that way, but that's what I know these people to be. People who didn't like you to begin with. So those people are not a loss. The less of those type of people, the less you will take up unnecessary space, right? The less you have that around, the more space you will have for the people who actually resonate with you. So you guys have to make sure that you don't fall into the trap of not enforcing your boundaries. If someone makes me feel weird these days, I'll be like, you're making me feel weird. You're doing things that are really, really weird, and not weird in a good way. You're making me feel very uncomfortable. And I'm not going to say it in a way where I'm afraid, right? Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. I hear you, soul. I hear you. I'm going to keep it moving. So some of the parasitic thought inception is going to come in different forms outside of you thinking you can hear what's happening, right? So here, get wild. This card, get wild. Something is trying to encourage you and also me to wild out, to be reactive. For what? That's a waste of my energy. My energy is very precious. It's to be used strictly for what I want to build for myself, for my community. I'm not going to waste my energy anymore, right? I'm not going to waste any of it. Instead, I'm going to have compassion for myself, because when I do that, when I waste my energy after the fact, I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? What was the point of me engaging that? Right? I mean, if there's no point, why do it? If there's no point, why do it? You have to reclaim your power over yourself. Reclaim it. Reclaim it. Just own your space. There's nothing that you need to explain to anyone. There's nothing that you need to explain to anyone. If the engagement is not going to help restabilize your peace, it's not going to help you enforce a boundary, redefine your space and who you will allow or disallow from entering, there's no point. There's no point. So movement. Once you realize this, you have to keep moving. You have to just keep right on going. Sometimes people don't realize they're being used by parasitic things. That's not to give an excuse. That's to help you to understand not everything that you're doing actually needs to be done. Like you feel like, oh, I have to tell someone something to correct them. I have to this, I have to that. I have to explain, I have to explain, I have to explain. No, you don't. What is your goal for explaining? What is the goal there? To offer clarity with no expectations as to what the person will do with that clarity? Or are you explaining, but in reality, you're using that explanation as an opportunity to force agreement, to force them to see you and your journey in the way that you say? Lord, Lordy, Lord. I wonder if people think about what they comment and post before they do it. I wonder. I wonder if people think about, I don't know. Michael, for real. See, like encouragement to play. No, I'm not in the mood to play today. I'm in the mood to deliver a message and then get back to unpacking. That's what I'm in the mood for. There's many, many things that I need to do, that I need to accomplish. And that's what I'm focusing on. That's what I'm focusing on. So here's the thing. Sometimes it's appropriate to not respond. When you see the truth of who someone is, sometimes you need to just not respond. Other times, your lack of response is the very thing that enables and empowers the behavior. So you have to really sit and think about what it is you're trying to accomplish. What's your objective, right? And then you can allow yourself to recognize the circumstance that's placed before you, and then you can choose which direction to pivot before you move forward. So. Un momento. Girl, I'm live right now, and you would be so proud of me if you saw the amount of restraint that I'm utilizing. Okay. Just saying. Just saying. I needed to acknowledge. I needed to acknowledge just how much I'm remaining focused with my squirrel brain, just really remaining focused. Damn. These are so potent. So it's like this thing of releasing, right? For some people, they think they're releasing messages from soul. They think they're releasing this like extremely elevated, holy, divine, whatever it is that they're trying to release. In actuality, is nothing but smoke. They're blowing smoke out their own ass. It is what it is. I'm coming to realize I can teach many people as an instructor because I am a professor. But some people I just can't teach. Why? They're not interested in learning. They're interested in regurgitating information to, I don't know, get clout. So you have to know the conversations that you have, are they being heard? Or is this someone just looking for a foothold in your space and using conversation to do that? Because the way I see it, I learn from my students as much as they learn from me. I learn quite a bit from my students. And whenever I'm presented a person who thinks they know everything, that's a really bad sign. A person who always has something to add to a statement, like you make a statement, they have to add something to it. You say something and they have to negate it or support and provide information. It's like just, I'm behaving is what's going on. I'm behaving. I'm absolutely behaving. I'm being very good today. So when people do that type of thing where they're blowing smoke at their own ass, you just turn away. I don't know if you want to smell the gases that come out of someone's sphincter. Like, that air that commingles with their caca. I don't want to breathe that in. I don't want to breathe that in. Are you kidding me? I do not want to breathe any of that in. What, and integrate that into my system? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. So there's a choice needing to be made. Are you going to choose to be the one that sets the tempo, the one that creates the rhythm as well as the melody? Or are you just at a listening party? And not all listening parties are worth listening to. If you're just going to be there and, you know, basically allowing someone who already had intentions to use you, allowing them to decide how it's going to happen. No, absolutely not. Not at all. I would never allow that. And this realization can be a very, very heavy one. This awareness can be something that feels so crushing, especially for those who are so accustomed to being very politically correct, those who are accustomed to shoving down their emotions and their words, denying the appropriate actions from happening in response to something that should have never been allowed. You're about to see the reality of the circumstance that you've allowed to be created and that you've allowed to perpetuate. This is something that's going to help you if you can learn how to walk away from those type of cycles. Walk away. I think for some, you don't even need to use colorful language. You just literally need to walk away. Let's see. This is crazy. What is this? Is this like I think this is like a Blu-ray update. Oh, man. Okay. So this person, be very mindful and very careful. Very mindful and very, very careful. A lot of what's happening right now is a parasitic circumstance is spreading. I'm good. I am. I'm good off that. Like, I'm good. I don't want to insert myself into anything that I don't need to insert myself into. Last night, my brother had posted something on his social media. For those who don't know, he's part of a training camp that is it's like world known. This training camp is world known. And he's had so many videos, so much content that's been published worldwide, where you clearly see he has an in real life connection and relationship with these professional athletes. I'm talking about top tier athletes, millions of dollars pay-per-view type events, top tier athletes. So he posts something, there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but he posts something. And for some reason, Michael tells me to go ahead and look through the comments. And really, they're pretty much all being very supportive. Right? They're like, oh, we hope this athlete is okay, and this and that. And then someone asks a question and is like, I don't know what's happening because I'm hearing different stuff. Can someone help me to understand what's actually happening? And this person just writes the most ugly stuff, like calling the people that's part of the circumstance trash and this and that. And so basically I tagged that person. I commented and I was like, do you know any of these people that are involved in the circumstance you're talking about, like personally? And I don't just mean social media posts or things you find online. I'm talking about in real life connection, either professional or personal connection with any of those people, because they're talking like they know these people personally. And then I said, based solely on what you wrote, you're a fucking piece of shit. And the only trash that I see here is you. And then, of course, I messaged my sister-in-law. Sis, is so-and-so a friend? And she's like, who's that? And I was like, and then she disappears for a few minutes. And then she comes back. She's like, never mind, your brother just showed me. And I was like, so that's not a friend. That's not a work friend, associate, anything like that to you guys? And she goes, no. I said, because I wanted to say more. Why am I sharing this with you guys? There was absolutely no reason for me to comment on there. But there's an energy wafting around that is making it extremely enticing to insert yourself in spaces you do not need to be in. So, I remember my brother had seen what I wrote. And you know what he did? He deleted that entire little thread that I inserted myself in. Why? Because he knows that I don't comment on his work stuff. And the fact that I commented, and he knows my attitude, he knows my character, he knows me, and he knew I was waiting for that guy to respond to me so I could really let loose. Because saying someone is a piece of shit is not the worst thing that I could say. Let me tell you. And I assumed to protect me from myself, he went ahead and just deleted that comment. He left the post, but he left that comment. He deleted that comment that I entered into. Why is that important to know? Because if your environment is not made of the people who will protect you from your momentary loss of discernment and self-control, if they can't do that for you, why are they in your environment? Why are you relying on them? What is that about? Because let's face it, a rat has been allowed into your circle. Or maybe you didn't allow them into your circle. Maybe they've just been kind of trying to edge their way in. They're looking for an entry between the feet of the people who stand as the guardians of your peace. Ooh, soul, stop. Keep going. I like it. I'm serious. There are certain people who stand as the guardians of your peace. And if you haven't found those people yet, what are you doing wasting your time with the people who are not that? Once upon a time, several years ago, I figured I would just allow anyone into my space. I do have the capacity to just love random people. I'm a Piscean. Stop. That's what Pisceans do. We just love people when we're in a good mood. That's the disclaimer. When we're in a good mood, we just love people. It doesn't matter how long I've known you. It doesn't matter if you're a complete stranger or if we have nothing in common. When the feeling strikes me, I love you. I just love you. What did I do? You exist. So I love you. That's all. No, you don't have to be my bestie or anything like that. I already have besties. You don't have to be my bestie. But I just want you to know that I love you. Right? So I'm thinking someone took that. You had a surge of goodness run through you. And they took that and they're like, this is it. This is my way in. This is my way in. Well, why did they need to get in? Why? I mean, what is this? What is this? Like, what's happening? Kathy, I know it's been a while. I gotta show you. I can't though. I can't get up. I found the kitty cap. I'll have it close to me the next time I go live and I'll wear it. Okay. So for the few people who have ever like mailed me something, made me something, written me something, I keep all of those things. Yeah, I keep all of it. Okay, so look at this. Whoever this is, they think they the shit. You not even a thought. They're gonna try and blind two people. I know what this is. This person is like a wicked mastermind. They are a wicked mastermind, and what they're doing is they're going to blind these two fucking idiotas from seeing the reality that they're being used. This person has an actual gripe with you. Is it a valid gripe? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. Be honest with yourself. Did you do something to them? They're trying to present themselves as evolved, but they're not. They're not. Because look, it's a character they're playing. It's a character they're playing. This is intense. Your higher self is not willing to allow you to be touched, to be harmed, to be accessed in any type of way. Your higher self is not giving permission. It's not going to allow at all. But you need to make sure you don't try and override your higher self. Because a lot of the times when you mess yourself up, when you mess up your journey, hi, Gaze, when you mess up your journey, it has a lot to do with you not doing what your soul instructed you to do. Has a lot to do with that. Recently, I had a session that, right, a couple hours before the session started, my soul was like, no, you're not to do this session. I was like, what do I say to the person? Like, they've waited. Well, had to follow whatever the policy is. And that's that. Well, I mean, do you know why? No, I don't know why. I don't know why, but my soul said, no, that's not something you need to do. That is something you need to not do. And so I listened. Well, what did you avoid? I don't know. I choose instead to believe that whatever that is, it's in the greatest interest of all parties involved to not have that session. So we didn't. It's not any angry feelings that I didn't have the courage to say. No, soul just said, don't do it. So I didn't. There's been quite a few different things where soul has guided me. Soul has told me, like, hey, you need to do this and this. And it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense when I was told, but I listened, and it actually kept me out of harm's way. I've shared this publicly before, this instance where we were traveling cross country in an RV with my mother, and we arrived at the RV site pretty late at night. The person that lives there and runs the campground was having dinner, and we pulled up and he set us up. He brought us to where we needed to park. We already paid and everything, and we were all tired. We had a late dinner. Everyone went to bed, and as soon as I laid down and was just about to fall asleep, you know, that space where you're still aware, but you can also feel you're about to fall asleep. That's like the most delicious space. That's where I was. And then suddenly it was this, get up, you need to leave right now. And I was like, oh my God, what was that? Yeah. And I tried to lay back down and go back to sleep. And then it was the same message. And I was like, we need to leave. We need to leave. I don't know why, but we need to leave. And my husband's like, I'm tired. He'd been driving for, I think, like 12 hours or something like that. And I was like, that's fine. Unhook us and I'll drive. A 39-foot RV, you guys. Y'all know that I have night blindness, right? I have night blindness. I'm not supposed to drive at night. And then I have binocular vision issues. That's what causes my night blindness. And I was like, I will drive. And I drove. We left. My mother was like, where are you going? You're crazy. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm going to drive though. I'm driving. So I drove and I drove for a couple hours. It was raining the whole time. And then by the time the sun came up, we were right by Mount Rushmore. And we ended up visiting Mount Rushmore. And then we saw on the news while we were in the gift shops, we saw on the news that the town that we were in that night, that entire town was flooded. Mind you, we were parked right beside the river. That's where the guy decided to put us, despite the whole place being completely empty. There was no one else there. He decided to park us right by the river so that when my kids wake up, they could have a beautiful sight of the river. So, yeah, found out later on that that town was flooded so bad that all the people that were there when the flooding started were stuck there. And the National Guard had to airdrop supplies. When your soul tells you something, you need to listen. It's for your own good. Your soul wants you to be protected. Your soul wants you to be safe. Your soul wants you to learn the things you need to learn in the easiest, less painful way possible. It's you that decides the intensity, the severity. It's you that chooses the suffering. When you fight your process, you are the one that ends up suffering. So now we have this right here. Yikes. It's like this drain, just draining all of the lower chakras using people. I've never seen the card look like this. Those look like people who are dragged down. This is someone who's dragged quite a few people down. Suddenly these look like faces who are being dragged down into that drain of a person. The blue, they like to gather people. This is someone that likes to gather people. I'll tell you this. I've changed so much since I first became publicly visible. Before it was this thing of, I'll go ahead and I will address conflict to help someone else. But I if it comes to me, I'll stay silent on it and just leave it be. These days, I stay out of other people's business and I'm willing to fucking fight for myself now. Yeah. I had to say it that dramatic too. I had to say it that dramatic because really, why do you fight for other people, but you don't fight for yourself? I mean, if you're going to have to fight, which I don't think you should fight everything, that's a waste of your time and your energy. But if you're going to have to fight, if that's the only feasible option, why not fight for yourself? Why not be mindful of what you allow yourself to enable? Because sometimes, like I said, sometimes the best option is to just leave it alone and walk away. Other times, doing that, the lack of action, the lack of response, it emboldens predatory people. It emboldens predatory people. I'm living proof of this. Super duper, excuse me, enabling of predatory people when you are seen as someone who is very nice, very soft, very gentle. And then when they test your boundaries, you don't correct it. You have to. What is this? Ooh, your soul. Your soul is inviting you to go down to the depths of your heart's ocean. This is inviting you to go deep, 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 deep down there. Whatever this is, it's coming to an end soon because that looks like dusk. That's what that looks like. It looks like the sun is setting on this and it's getting pretty late in the night. So you need to close this out. You need to close this out. You need to allow this to just be closed out and move forward from it. When you move forward from it, you need to just hold your consciousness, your light, your power, and just embrace yourself for a moment. Just embrace yourself. Give yourself the love, the acknowledgement that you need. Sometimes that's all we really need, right? That sometimes the reason we go through things is because that circumstance is your soul inviting you to see your worth, that you are worth standing up for. At the very least, speak up. If not, your growth and your inner child is the one that begins to really suffer. Right? Your growth and your inner child, those are the ones that really, really suffer because guess what? Those are the parts of you that you haven't been acknowledging. And because you're not acknowledging it, they're not properly fit in your field. They're not placed in the appropriate space. And so they're destabilized. And as they're destabilized, those are the aspects of you that predatory people will go after. Yeah. Predatory people will go after that. Here's the reality. Everyone has a capacity to be predatory in nature. Just because you don't have the desire to expand on that potential doesn't mean other people follow the way you exist. So, how do you deal with predatory people? You let them know you're not going to be easy prey. That's it. That's it. By screaming, by matching their energy? No. By letting them see they cannot shake you. They cannot pull you from your space of center. You are absolutely in control of yourself, your life, your journey. You select your options based on what you believe you should select, not based on other people's threats, other people's attempts to coerce, attempts to control, or any of those things. You're in full control. And the only control other people have over you is the control you allow them to have. And it could be something where, it's just a verbal thing, or it could be something where it's a physical thing. I don't know. I think when it's just a verbal thing, yes, you have to stand your ground. I think when it's a physical thing, you absolutely have to protect yourself. You absolutely have to protect yourself. So, based on soul's instruction, I'm being prepared by soul, and I don't know how, for the next part of my journey. I don't really know what that means. For the next part of my journey. And it's going to create a level of elevation in the work that I do that requires me to take the necessary steps right now. What does that mean? Well, one of the instructions my soul gave me was that my children, all of them, need to take professional defense classes. By the time they're done with this program, this is the agreement, they will have earned a black belt in multiple martial arts modalities, multiple styles. They're learning all of it simultaneously. Why? Because even if they're not with me, they will not be in danger because I'm their mother. And let me tell you, my kids are little badasses. I watch every one of their classes. I do. I watch every single one of their classes, and they're progressing beautifully. Beautifully. Their bodies are getting conditioned to be able to have the stamina to actually defend themselves. And the types of fighting styles that they're learning, fucking formidable. Close quarters, more distance, ground, any type of circumstance that they could possibly ever face, they're being prepared for it with this system. And they will not be allowed to stop classes until they earn at least a first degree black belt. Because at that point, those are your natural reaction to threat. Those things that you're taught, they're now your natural reaction to threats to your safety, to your life. You want to keep going? I will absolutely keep getting you classes. Absolutely. You want to be a fourth degree black belt in multiple go right ahead. Go right ahead. I will go to all of your ceremonies and your classes and all of that. When soul tells you it's time to prepare, you must prepare. It's not done out of fear. Am I afraid someone's going to take my children? No, not at all. So then why put them in classes? I mean, if you're not scared, I want them to feel like they can handle any situation, regardless of who's there, regardless of their size, regardless of who's threatening their safety. Are you kidding me? This is a life skill. We don't allow them to be aggressive with each other. This is an outlet for them to channel that aggression in a powerful, very empowering way. And the class teaches them self-control and discernment. Are you kidding me? That drives home the things that me and their father have taught them their whole lives. You don't just mess with people, but don't let people mess with you. And it's not to prove anything. It's to come home safe. Every time you leave the house, you come home safe. When your soul gives you these instructions, you have to listen, because when you listen, the risk of danger is greatly reduced. And because you're aware, it's hard to blindside you. It's going to be much harder to attack you. Excuse me. So, talking of parasites, right? Demonic things, demonic people, demonic behaviors, yada, yada, yada. So me, I am very well versed in quite a few different things. And I have a very specific skill set that makes it very difficult to breach me. Can I still be breached? Yes. It's very difficult to do that. I can clear myself too. So why do I tell you this? Because we're not trying to create a character that you're trying to live up to be. No. You're not expected to be perfect, but you are expected to cultivate the skills that already exist within you that can be utilized to keep you safe, to keep you clear. So how often do you get breached? Not often. But you can be breached. Everyone can. That would be idiotic of me to sit here and be like, I can never be breached. That's a lie. Everyone can. Depending on what's being exploited, that point of entry, anyone can. Why is it difficult to breach me? Because I always pay attention. And I continue developing my skill set as my soul tells me to do. That's all you're being asked to do. Develop the very things that give you the capability to do what needs to be done, to diffuse any type of elevating, escalating situation, like de-escalate it. All the skill sets that you have that help to elevate the type of life you can build for yourself. This is a period where something or someone who has access to you, they're about to be used by something very dark. Do you need to be afraid? No, your soul's preparing you. That's why you're hearing this. Your soul wants you prepared so that their effect on you is minimized. So what do you need to do? Beat them to it? No, because then that makes you them. These people who are done wrong, right? We have, it's very common in the spiritual industry, spiritual industry and communities. If someone in the spiritual spaces feels like you did them wrong, whether you did or not, kind of tends to be irrelevant to these type of people. Like, whether you did or not is irrelevant to them, right? So they believe you did them wrong, and so they do you very, very dirty. They try and create an ugly story about you, try and get people to hate you, and yada, yada. This is very common in spiritual spaces. And those people, they won't retaliate. The ones who received the actual malicious intentions, they won't retaliate, but they'll say, oh, karma will get them. Okay, what does that mean? That you were done wrong, so they need to be done wrong, and you're counting on something outside of you to harm this person who's inflicted harm upon you, because that's the only way to level it out, right? That's the only way to make everything kind of just like settled. Wrong. You are no different than the person who harmed you. The only difference, if you really want to look at the differences, you didn't have the courage to put the action behind the thought. They did. Wanting harm on someone else. No. Whoever this is, you are being told in advance they have malicious intentions. They are capable of malignant behaviors. You want to cut them off at the pass. You want to beat them to it before they can harm you. Cut off access. That's all you have to do. And you'll have the confirmation you need about how malignant their intention was when they wild the fuck out just because you cut them off, because you're no longer accessible. Are you aware that every single person who has tried to launch campaigns to tarnish my image, to tarnish me, to defraud me, to get groups to hate me and attack me and all kind of shit, you want the reality of why they wiled it out? And it's true for every single one. You want the reality of why? They couldn't access me anymore. That was the only reason. And then they came up with all these other reasons. Oh, she's a scammer. Oh, she's a thief. Oh, she's a liar. Oh, she's a demon. Tell the truth. I mean, you can talk whatever you want, but make sure the hateful shit you say is actually the truth. Tell them what really happened. I saw you were full of shit and I just walked away. I didn't try to correct you. I didn't try to change you. I just said, ooh, I'm not about that. I'm good. Oh, I don't need that shit in my life. No, thank you. No, I will not work with you to harm other people. I didn't say anything to anyone. Just walked away. Every single time. Just because you walk away, just because you own your space and your sovereignty, it doesn't mean the people will respect it. But as long as you keep that door shut, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say or do. Unless you can take legal action for what it is they're doing, do not engage. What is the point? What is the point? I can tell you what their point is. If they truly do have a parasitic latching, they're being used to intentionally drain you. Why? You're probably at the cusp of manifesting something amazing for yourself. You're probably right there. Yep. You want to give up that amazing thing that you've been working for, just so you could have the last word? Let them, give them the soapbox to stand on and keep blabbing while you go ahead and carry on with whatever it is that you've been working to manifest. You need to start figuring out who it is that's infiltrated your circle, who it is that has malicious intentions. This is a frenemy. This is a frenemy. I tell you, I'm very good at reading people, but once in a while, I'll have just this like, I just feel so bad for them. Oh my gosh, like they're the underdog. No one's been on their side. I want to protect them. I want to give them an opportunity to like be shielded from people telling the truth about them. I don't know, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, they're able to get in. And in my head, erroneously, I'm thinking, I could love you into wholeness. You just need someone to love you so that you don't act that way anymore. No, I'm so wrong. Those people, I personally have chosen to just leave them be. Once I determine that that's the potentiality of your character, then I just leave that be. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. You have a good life. I genuinely mean that. You go have a good life. I'm going to walk away. And I don't explain anything. Why? And this is something you guys might need to really consider. When someone has a malicious intention towards you and you let them know their access to you is about to be cut, you know what happens? They speed up their timeline. They become very desperate and very frantic, and then they get even more angry. How dare you try and escape before they can even attempt what they were going to do to you? Yeah, learn that the hard way as well. It is not my place to try and convince someone to agree with what I see inside them. It's not my place, nor do I want it to be my place. But I do have an obligation to myself to make decisions that will be beneficial for my peace and also cultivate my environment so that my peace is not disturbed. There will be instances in my life where my peace absolutely is disturbed. And that will be because my soul needed my peace disturbed for me to go through another cycle of learning, not because I didn't listen, not because I allowed malicious, malignant people to access me. No more of that. I refuse. I refuse. People will be like, oh, you're just scared, Emmy. You can think whatever you want. You can say I'm scared. You can say I'm a little biatch. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. And I don't have to prove anything to anyone. And maybe that needs to be your mantra for the next few days. I know who I am. I know what I want. And I know what I'm capable of. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I am capable of. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I'm capable of. You know how those three statements doesn't really carry a charge with it. It's not a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. It's just a statement. And the reason it's said is just a statement where there's no words that imply it's regarding something negative is because we want to be able to use that mantra for every aspect of our life to negate the negativity and to also encourage and expand the positivity. I know who I am. I know what I want. And I know what I'm capable of. That's said from a space of neutrality. You want to hear it used to negate negativity? I know who I am. And I know what I want. And I know what I'm capable of. Don't fuck with me. It's just the energy you put behind the words that give the words the charge they need to give instruction to your environment. That's all. The emotion provides the charge. When you say these things, even in a hushed whisper, in the most delicate Nara Smith voice, I love her voice. Yeah, if you're feeling negative things, it's being charged in a negative way. It's inviting fights. I'm good at fighting, but do I need to invite a fight every single time? No. No. What's the difference between being the aggressor and being the defender? If you're doing something to initiate, what, because you were told something, person hasn't done anything to you, but you heard something, you felt something, so now you're going to attack them. Yeah, that's not how that works. Rules of engagement. I don't mess with people. I don't mess with people. These days, though, you start shit with me, who knows what you'll have. Might have no response. You might have me put you in your place. Where's your place? Nowhere near me. Go wherever the hell you want, just not near me. Or you might have a full-blown legal action on your hands. It is what it is. It is what it is. I will no longer allow any of that caca. I just won't. It's time for you guys to no longer allow as well. Is this an example of reprogramming standing scalar waves? Standing scalar waves are reprogrammed automatically by your thought and powered through by your emotions. So depending on where your mind goes and the emotions that are arising from that thought, or the thoughts that arise from the emotions that are triggered first, that's what's going to pattern your standing scalar waves. So through the entire day, your standing scalar waves are being repatterned every second, every breath, every conversation, everything that you see. So when you're shown things that are intended to bait you, like you see something very upsetting on social media, a video, a post, whatever it is, it's intended to get either your emotions or your thoughts going in a negative way. And as it continues to go, it's repatterning your standing scalar waves. It's either compressing it or it's allowing it to be of a higher frequency. And frequency needs to be increased, not vibration. Vibration is internally held energy. And when you hold it in, that's what causes the fracturing, fragmenting, and damage to your auric membrane, your auric field. When you hold that in, you are drawing in the energy from your shield, causing it to become much more brittle. So yeah, a lot of the things that are spread around as like absolute truths in spiritual spaces, you have to be very careful of it, because spirituality was actually allowed to proliferate because it was going to be used as controlled opposition. People will believe things because it sounds good, it sounds edgy, it sounds spiritual, it sounds evolved. Most of that is not. It's not true. It's not factual. It's not any of those things. And for the people who are like, well, your work isn't factual, Emmy, provide some proof, provide evidence. Okay, provide evidence of gravity. That's a fucking theory. So is space. That's a theory. Provide me evidence. Because the only thing that science does, given enough time, is prove itself wrong. Every single time. You give it enough time and it will prove itself wrong. Case in point. So my sibling was dying of heart failure, 7% ejection fraction rate. He was end stage, stage D heart failure. The only thing they could do was give him a heart transplant. And if he couldn't survive long enough to get one, they were going to try and do an LVAD surgery to be able to prolong his life. And the doctors, based on science, years and years and years of advanced science, this is a lost cause. Eventually, he's going to heal from this. They gave him 3 days to 3 weeks life expectancy. That was August 2020. It's 2025, almost August. Not only is he still alive, they've taken him off some medications I completely reversed his heart failure. His doctors don't know why. His doctors don't know how. I'm not going to tell them. Why? Because that's proprietary information. I'm not going to tell them. Yeah. Did I like meditate? No. There's very specific processes that needed to occur, and I couldn't violate his sovereignty. I had to respect his sovereignty. Where his mindset was, I could not do the work. I tried to one time early on. He had a stroke. As I was priming, he had a stroke, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to. I will completely respect it. I will not overstep. And when his mindset finally adjusted, his soul gave me free rein, immediately reversed it, dissolved the clot, repaired, regenerated heart tissue. I have medical diagnostics to validate everything I'm saying. So when people say, Emmy, you can't even prove your work, I have hundreds of thousands of pages of medical diagnostics, not just from my sibling. Many, many people have submitted medical diagnostics to me. You have to know your value. Because I promise you, whoever this is in your life, whoever that frenemy is, they've seen this about you. You too, Catherine. Catherine, do you want to share your story? All I know is I love you and you need to be around. That's all I know. Do you want me to share your story, Catherine? Catherine's been with me since way, way back. I think since I first started live streaming. Okay. Was it your liver? I have a bad memory. It was your liver, right? So Catherine's been with me for quite some time. We've had several sessions together. And then one day we were conversing, and it turns out that she was diagnosed with liver failure. Was it end stage? My memory is so horrible. She was given 3 to 6 months to live. She had liver cirrhosis. So that's severe. That's severe. And liver failure is a horrible way to go. Horrible way to go. How long ago was that? A couple of years ago? I should like keep a diary. I don't know. It feels weird, like keeping tabs. That feels weird to me, but it wouldn't be to keep tabs. It would be more so that I could, on the days where I feel like, my work is really just whatever. I don't even know why I do this work. I could look through that diary and be like reminded of the importance of continuing. 4 years? Has it been 4 years? Damn. That's been a while. That's been a while. And it's not just me doing these things for people. Lexi, are you here? I think I saw Lexi comment. She was here. I don't know if she's here still. I have another person. We did one mentorship, and Lexi's talked about this publicly multiple times in my live stream. So I know she's okay with me sharing this. One mentorship, one session in about a 90-minute period, we were able to sift through a lot of things, do a lot of corrective energy work, and then Lexi took over after that. There was no checking in, no nothing. Lexi, is it okay if I share the exacts of your circumstance? I love you, Catherine, and I love you, Lexi. So this one's important for me to share because Lexi did this herself. I just gave Lexi the tools, the awareness. She purchased a mentorship with me. First session is about 90 minutes. And that was that. And Lexi's goal was to completely wean off of, what was it? Was it like pain meds? or something like that. Her doctors were refusing to assist her. They didn't want her to. They were like, well, we put you on the lowest dose or whatever and just stay on it. But it's like, she wants to be off. It's quite a few years that Lexi was wanting to no longer be chained to this medicine. And so she went and did the mentorship. I gave her the tools and the instruction, and then I set her loose. What was my one request, Lexi? Because I know you savage. I asked Lexi, see, it's oxycodone and oxy IR is what she was trying to wean off of, and the doctors would not assist with that. They were trying to keep her on it. And the one rule that she needed to follow: do not force this. Do not rush this. You will get yourself in the hospital. If you experience any symptoms of too rapid of a withdrawal, you need to go take your medicine. You need to go to the hospital. You need to be safe. I knew you was going to do something, Lexi. I hate to accuse, but I knew you were going to force it. But she listened. She did. She listened. And how long did it take you, Lexi? Like less than a week? Was it something like 4 days? I don't remember. I think it was something like 4 days. I know at one point I did check in a few days later, and it's like, hey, you doing okay? You're not rushing things, right? You're not forcing it. Right? You're weaning it appropriately. You're not taking unnecessary risks. And she was able to do it. I think it was like, what, 15 years that you had been asking your doctors to help you get off of it, and they refused to allow you. Lexi's good. Lexi did it herself. Took less than a week. Yeah. I'm so proud of you, Lexi. I'm pretty new. I'm trying to get away from meds, suffering with Crohn's. Do you work with that? Yeah. I can work with autoimmune conditions, Crohn's. I've successfully also been able to assist with damage to mitochondria, irreversible mitochondrial damage. We've been able to reverse that. I've had someone come on with me before, and they had shared that they couldn't even stand for more than 10, 15 minutes when they crossed my path. And then I want to say they also did a mentorship. And after that, and they shared this during a live stream, within a few months, they were able to walk like, I think, 2 miles around the nature preserve or reserve, I don't know, the nature spot that's behind their house. They were able to hike. So, it's one of those things where sometimes I'm the one that will do it for you. But what I prefer is for you to be able to do it for yourself. Because, then you can maintain it for the rest of your life. That's a choice you can make. Maintain it for the rest of your life and have that health, elevate that health. So, yeah, it's the mentorship. So if you guys are interested in getting assistance with whatever circumstance is that you're dealing with, and I have a lot of success with clients whose doctors have given up on them. Their doctors don't want to listen. I'm not a doctor. I'm not licensed to treat, diagnose, or bound by their rules. So I can actually be honest with you with what I'm picking up. For those who are like, well, how do you do that? All of my clairs are active, and then I'm also a medical intuitive. In addition to that, because of my upbringing, I was groomed to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. I originally was supposed to finish medical school to become a cardiothoracic surgeon with a secondary specialty in neurology. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon as well. So some of my most highly developed corrective capacity has to do with everything in the cranial space and then the thoracic cavity. I'm also good with like musculature and bones. It's just really, if something fascinates me, I will find a way to work on that. Yeah. If it fascinates me enough, I absolutely can find a way to work on that. So in my certification program, I teach my students how to do this. The first level is something that can even address like really intense things. I love to share how one of my students, and they've shared this on live streams for me before as well. Their mom had COVID and ended up in the hospital. And then I believe she worked on her mom. And before she worked on her mom was supposed to be there for like a week because she got pneumonia, I think. And then after she worked on her mom, I think it was the next day, the doctor was like, okay, you're good to go home. I'm so proud of my students. I love it. I love it, you know? So it's a thing where my students are amazing. And then, of course, in my level 2 of my certification program, we're focusing more on like nervous system work. So stellate ganglion blocks, things like that, epidurals, those are things that can actually be done by reprogramming standing scalar waves. I teach my students how to bilocate and project a portion of their consciousness to wherever their client is. So my clients, I don't do sessions in person. I do them remotely. I've never had to meet a client or put hands on a client for me to have been able to work on them. As a matter of fact, I don't even need to see you. I don't need to know your name. I don't need to know where you are. All I need to do is be made aware you exist. That's it. And then I can access. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The certification program is just, it's my heart. I love that program. I love to teach my students, and they're all just so amazing. And my program is so different from others because there's such a heavy emphasis on ethics, morals, and integrity. There's also a very, very heavy emphasis on self-defense and defending your client. We take a lot of time to learn that. My students all know how to not just keep themselves safe and the field they work in sterile. I teach my children, not my children, they're like my children. I teach my students to work in a sterile, I called them my children. You'd swear they were the way I defend them. Like, the fuck you say to my kid? No, that's my student. I teach them to work in a sterile energetic field. So there's no commingling of the energies. But yeah, they learn all that different stuff. So the expectation in order to certify successfully, you have to have the same level of integrity, morals, and work ethic that I operate at, because you will not be representing me and my body of work if you lack integrity. If you can't defend your space and defend your client, no. And my students are taught you do not abandon your client. If there's a massive demonic attack, you don't just abandon your client. You defend your client as you defend yourself. And I teach them very advanced work. Very, very, very advanced work. It's not stuff that I share publicly. It's all only available in my academy. Yeah. So guys, I gotta go. I was supposed to go 24 minutes ago. The next level 1 cycle is probably going to be towards the end of this year, but there's now an entire enrollment process. I'm not fucking around no more. It doesn't matter if you can afford the program. If you don't have the appropriate character, if you don't have what it takes, you will not be allowed to enroll. There's a full enrollment process and all of that. It will be equivalent to the enrollment application process for an Ivy League college. I don't operate at levels of mediocrity. I know that sounds cocky, but it's a reality. Anyone who knows me and my work knows I don't operate at a level of mediocrity. Ever. I'm Asian. That's disrespectful. To be mediocre is disrespectful. So that's what I teach my students as well, to excel in ways that they never thought they could. I'm going to go. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye, everyone. Bye, guys. Oh, wait. Before I go, there's a 40% off coupon, the Emmy Evolving. My Filipino came out. The Emmy Evolving website. I have a 40% off coupon running for 4th of July. There's no coupon code necessary, and it's for private sessions. Okay. So if you are interested in having me work with you with a mentorship or any other thing, if you're dealing with something chronic, mentorship is the best way to go so you can continue to work on yourself. Just go to Emmy Evolving